in my opinion, the topic of working hard often is kind of looked down upon, like, oh, you know, those are just for people who just grind stuff out because they're not smart enough to be able to get things done well. I don't necessarily have any negative connotations for working hard. I actually think that's a much softer topic than what we just talked about. This is more rigorous. You know, you can set this stuff up. If you can have a couple ways you can implement to successfully increase a particular skill for yourself, that's a little bit more kind of hard than the topic of motivation. But for me, the topic so we talked about working smart as figuring things out. We talked about working right as seeing what works. For me, hard work is about perspective and purpose. And one of the ladies who was up there today talked about the problem of relative perspective, how we can't get out of our own perspective. So in many regards, if there's a particular challenge that we haven't faced before, sometimes we frame it as like a hardship, as like a stress. And I think that those of us that work the hardest, when you find yourself working the hardest, often that's when we're ingraining perspective, we're ingraining purpose. And company-wise, I don't think there's any real better example of that than where you guys are. You know what I mean? You guys have Panthers in your office. I don't know if you're the only one that picked up on the Panthers. It's awesome, right? It's really cool. So obviously Carolyn's a fantastic example of someone who's imbuing what they're doing with purpose. And I think in many regards, if we're working from a place of ideals, we don't get to talk that much about this stuff, but if we're working from a place of ideals, a place that's higher than ourselves, we tend to get more out of ourselves than we're focusing on what we've seen in the past and what's now a big deal to us and what's going to be stressful for us. So anchoring in your mind what that perspective is to get the most out of yourself, working with the purposes that you guys probably already brought to the company when you came here that motivated you to work hard. Hopefully with that, and maybe with a couple new ideas that you generated from yourselves through a few of these lenses, you guys will be able to do even better than you already have. So I wish you the absolute best of luck in 2013. I appreciate you very much having me here today. Thank you very much.